What's up, Freckle family? Welcome back. I hope you all had a great weekend. It's Monday, September 19th, and I'm your daily trivia host, Ian Finer, aka Lord Trivia himself. Freckle Daily Trivia consists of 5 everyday questions with weekly rotating topics. Each day you play earns you a raffle ticket towards amazing weekly prize draws like NFT airdrops, toys, collectibles, apparel merch, and more. This week, we're partnering up with Cybonix and Bandai Namco to bring you an entire week of sci-fi trivia. So I'll be asking you all things from the world of science fiction. Cybonix brings you to the dark side of Wardon's moon. The year is 2777, and the Cybonix cyborgs have been forced off their home planet, Cygonia, by the Elder Mystics. Here, the cyborgs are building and training back up to seek revenge on the mystical warlords who savagely pillaged their world. Cybonix is a collection of 1,500 NFTs that were minted on the Ethereum blockchain. Check out this video from Cybonix. Bandai Namco is one of the biggest and best toy companies in the world. Bandai brings you toys from all the IPs you love like Dragon Ball Z, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Star Wars, DC, and more. Bandai Namco is also a major video games publisher with games from Pac-Man to Elden Ring. Check out this video from Bandai Namco. Prizes this week are several incredible airdrops from Cybonix that will double as avatars for many play-to-earn games and metaverses alike. Also, Bandai Namco have given us a number of rare, exclusive collectibles like this Mortal Kombat figure from Storm Collectibles. This thing is worth over $300 on the secondary market. It's very rare, imported straight from Japan, and I'm really upset that I can't keep it myself because I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan. Additional prizes come from our sponsors at Diamond Select, Funko Pop Toys, Roosevelt's Culture Kings, and more. Now, it's time to head into outer space, back to the future, and through the dystopia. First question of the day. Which of the following is not one of RoboCop's prime directives? Is it A, serve the public, B, protect the innocent, C, do no harm, or D, uphold the law? Directed by sci-fi master Paul Verhoeven, RoboCop is one of the best police state dystopians in existence. RoboCop sees ace cop Alex Murphy, played by Peter Weller, turned into a robo-human hybrid law-enforcing machine. RoboCop is programmed with 3 main directives: serve the public, protect the innocent, and uphold the law, leaving our answer to be C, do no harm. If you've ever seen RoboCop, you know that RoboCop deals plenty of harm to criminals with his signature line, "Dead or alive, you're coming with me, punk." Love that movie so much, honestly. Now, you'll need to phone home for this next question. Which of Elliot's toys does E.T. use to make a makeshift communication device? Is it A, the Simon Game, B, Speak and Spell, C, Etch-a-Sketch, or D, Nintendo's Game Boy? Well, after reading a Buck Rogers comic strip, the titular character E.T. is inspired to make a communication device out of several household items, including a buzzsaw, coat hanger, record player, and our answer, B, a Speak and Spell. Spielberg's E.T. captivated audiences around the world with its emotional story of a young boy who befriends an alien, thwarts the government, and helps him return to his home in space. E.T. recently found its way back into theaters for a re-release, just proving how capable it is of withstanding the test of time. And space, of course. Next question is about my favorite sci-fi film of all time. Question 3. Philip K. Dick's Do Android Dream Electric Sheep is the source material for what sci-fi film? Is it A, Minority Report, B, A Scanner Darkly, C, The Matrix, or D, Blade Runner? No sci-fi trivia would be complete with at least one question about the dystopian sci-fi novelist Philip K. Dick, and we've got a couple of them for you. Dick had a penchant for not only creating some of the most chilling sci-fi stories of our time, but also predicting many aspects of the future. His novels and short stories have seen many film adaptations, but arguably his most famous, Do Androids Dream Electric Sheep, was adapted by Ridley Scott as D, Blade Runner, starring Harrison Ford. Many people consider Blade Runner to be one of the best sci-fi films ever created. Its neo-noir detective story is dark, moody, and downright visually impressive for a film made in 1982. Moving on to question 4, another Ridley Scott question. In Ridley Scott's Alien film, what is the name of Ripley's pet cat? Is it A, Marley, B, Jonesy, C, Bentley, or D, Finley? Ridley Scott's Alien is another film that was way ahead of its time. Alien sees a small crew, including Sigourney Weaver's badass Ripley, in deep space on the ship the Nostromo, trapped in a battle against the dreaded xenomorph alien. Ripley's cat, whose official onboard duty was rodent control, was named B, Jonesy. I'm not really sure how rodents got into deep space, but Jonesy gets enough screen time to be a fan favorite. Fun fact, the xenomorph and much of the art direction in the film was created by the famous artist H.R. Geiger and was designed using many household items like rubber hoses and Trojan condoms. Check out this clip from Alien. Now let's transform onto the final question of the day. This one is brought to you by Bandai Namco. Who are the sworn enemies of the Transformers? Is it A, the Dreadnoughts, B, the Autobots, B, the Cylons, or D, the Decepticons? Well, Optimus Prime and his gang of Autobots are sworn protectors of humanity. Robots from a distant planet that resemble modern automobiles, they can literally transform from their automotive form into badass robots with some serious firepower. Their sworn enemy across the entire cartoon and cinematic universe are none other than D, the Decepticons. You'll have a chance to build your own Transformer with one of these cool model sets from Bandai Namco that we're going to be giving away this week. I hope you win one. And that concludes the first day of Sci-Fi Trivia. I've been your host, Ian Feiner, and thank you so much for playing, and thanks to our sponsors for the week, Cybonix and Bandai Namco. Make sure you jump on our Discord server, discord.gg/Freckle, to be included in our weekly prize raffles. We'll be back again tomorrow for another round of Sci-Fi Trivia, and thanks for playing. What's up, Freckle family? Welcome back. It's Tuesday, September 20th, and I'm your daily trivia host, Ian Feiner, aka Lord Trivia himself. Freckle Daily Trivia consists of 5 everyday questions with weekly rotating topics. Each day you play earns you a raffle ticket towards amazing weekly prize draws like NFT airdrops, toys, collectibles, apparel, merch, and more. This week, we're partnering with Cybonix and Bandai Namco to bring you an entire week of sci-fi trivia. So I'll be asking you all things from the world of science fiction. Cybonix brings you to the dark side of Ordon's moon. The year is 2777, and the Cybonix cyborgs have been forced off their home planet, Cygonia, by the Elder Mystics. Here, the cyborgs are building and training back up to seek revenge on the mystical warlords who savagely pillaged their world. Cybonix is a collection of 1,500 NFTs that were minted on the Ethereum blockchain, and check out this video from Cybonix. Bandai Namco is one of the biggest and best toy companies in the world, and it's an honor to be working with them. Bandai brings you the toys from the IPs you love like Dragon Ball Z, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Star Wars, DC, and many more. Bandai Namco is also a major publisher of video games with games from Pac-Man to Elden Ring. It's an incredible company. Check out this video from Bandai Namco. Prizes this week are several incredible airdrops from Cybonix that will also double as avatars for many play-to-earn games and metaverses alike. Also, Bandai Namco have given us a number of rare exclusive collectibles and toys like this anime figurine from My Hero Academia. This thing is sick, super rare. If you're a fan of anime, you're gonna want this. It's for the weebs. Additional prizes come from our sponsors at Diamond Select, Funko Pop Toys, Roosevelt's Culture Kings, and more. Now, let's head into space, back to the future, and through the dystopia. For the first question of the day, let's take the red pill and enter the Matrix. In the original Matrix film, what is the name of the company that Thomas Anderson, better known as Neo, works for before being unplugged? Is it A, Oscorp, B, Cyberdyne Systems, C, Metacortex, or D, Comp Organization? Before being unplugged, our hero Neo goes by a different name, Thomas Anderson. Anderson works for a computer company by day and moonlights as a computer hacker, Neo, by night. Prior to the introduction of Morpheus and what the Matrix truly is, we see Neo working for a major computer corporation known as C, Metacortex. The Matrix series was revolutionary for its heady concepts, action sequences, and invention of bullet time. I'll never forget seeing it in theaters when I was a kid and immediately pretending that I could dodge bullets and do kung fu. Now let's move on to question 2. What is the name of the talking computer in 2001: A Space Odyssey? Is it A, Hal, B, Dave, C, Max, or D, Frank? Well, I'm sorry, Dave, I'm afraid I can't do that, is one of the most famous lines spoken by the antagonist of the film, A, HAL 9000 from 2001: A Space Odyssey. Heuristically programmed algorithmic computer, or HAL, is an eerily human-like computer that controls the systems of the Discovery 1 spaceship. It's mainly shown as a camera lens with a small red or yellow dot akin to the iris of a human eye. HAL communicates with the crew in a mild-mannered, calm tone and represents the fears and long-held concerns of artificial intelligence and computer technology's advancement. Question 3 is also about artificial intelligence. In the film Blade Runner, what is the name for synthetic humans? Is it A, androids, B, replicants, C, Moraveks, or D, synths? Though it's based on a book by Philip K. Dick, Do Androids Dream Electric Sheep, the answer is actually B, replicants, named for the fact that they look and act nearly indistinguishable from their human counterparts. Replicants were originally created to aid mankind, but when a dangerous superhuman version, the Nexus 6, were created, they banded together and began to mutiny against the human race. The replicants were forcibly retired by a distinct division of the police force known as the Blade Runners. Harrison Ford plays the lead as one of these Blade Runners, but there's also a serious debate whether he himself is a replicant or not. Let's check out this clip from Blade Runner. Let's head to the final frontier for this next question. In Star Trek, Spock is half human and half this. Is it A, Vulcan, B, Nandar, C, Meridian, or D, Klingon? Space, the final frontier, is the opening line of the infamous Star Trek franchise. Star Trek made waves in television and film by telling stories about the crew of the Starship Discovery, captained by James T. Kirk. Kirk's best friend and first mate Spock is half human and half a Vulcan. Vulcans, who show little to no emotion, are purely driven by logic, making them about as fun to be around as your know-it-all best friend who's constantly correcting everything you say. But because he's half human, Spock brings a different level of vulnerability and emotional capability otherwise not seen in the Vulcan race, making him one of the most dynamic and interesting characters on the show. Last question of the day, gotta be a Star Wars question. Who was famously absent from the world premiere of Star Wars A New Hope? Is it A, Harrison Ford, B, Mark Hamill, C, Carrie Fisher, or D, George Lucas? Well, it's a bit of a Hollywood faux pas to not attend your own film's premiere, but our answer, D, George Lucas, the creator and director of Star Wars A New Hope, was certain the film would be a flop and couldn't stomach the idea of watching it with a number of critics and his entertainment peers. He instead decided to go on vacation to Hawaii with his good friend Steven Spielberg, where the two allegedly came up with the idea for Indiana Jones. Lucas was of course wrong, and Star Wars went on to be a massive success and icon of sci-fi pop culture. With several sequels, TV shows, toys, lunchboxes, video games, the franchise made Lucas a billionaire and is now owned by Disney. And that concludes today's day of Sci-Fi Trivia. I've been your host, Ian Feiner. Thank you so much for playing, and thank you to our weekly prize sponsors, Cybonix and Bandai Namco. Make sure you jump in our Discord server, discord.gg/Freckle, to be included in our weekly prize raffles. We'll be back again tomorrow for another round of Sci-Fi Trivia, and thanks so much for playing. What's up, Freckle family? Welcome back. It's Wednesday, September 21st, and I'm your daily trivia host, Ian Feiner, aka Lord Trivia himself. Freckle Daily Trivia consists of 5 everyday questions with weekly rotating topics. Each day you play earns you a raffle ticket towards amazing weekly prize draws like NFT airdrops, toys, collectibles, merch, apparel, and more. This week, we're partnering up with Cybonix and Bandai Namco to bring you an entire week of sci-fi trivia. So I'll be asking you all things from the world of science fiction. Cybonix brings you to the dark side of Wardon's moon. The year is 2777, and the Cybonix cyborgs have been forced off their home planet, Cygonia, by the Elder Mystics. Here, the cyborgs are building and training back up to seek revenge on the mystical warlords who savagely pillaged their world. Cybonix is a collection of 1,500 NFTs to be minted on the Ethereum blockchain. Check out this video from Cybonix. Bandai Namco is one of the biggest and best toy companies in the world. Bandai brings you toys from the IPs you love like Dragon Ball Z, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Star Wars, DC, and many more. Bandai Namco is also a major video games publisher with games from Pac-Man to Elden Ring. Check out this video from Bandai Namco. Prizes this week are several incredible airdrops from Cybonix that will also double as an avatar for many play-to-earn games and metaverses alike. Also, Bandai Namco have given us some cool exclusive collectibles and toys like this Transformers model kit. You can build your own Transformer. It's freaking cool. I've got one for myself. I plan on building it as soon as I can. Who's got time though? Additional prizes from our sponsors are Diamond Select, Funko Pop, Roosevelt's, Culture Kings, and more. Now, let's head into space Back to the future and through this dystopia, and kick things off with a literary question. Who wrote the famous science fiction novel, The Time Machine? Is it A, Philip K. Dick, B, H.G. Wells, C, Aldous Huxley, or D, Stephen King? Well, one of the most famous sci-fi novelists to ever exist, our answer is B, H.G. Wells. Wells also wrote such classics as The Invisible Man and The War of the Worlds. But The Time Machine sees an inventor traveling far into the future to find that civilization has devolved into two species, the fair and childlike Eloi and the barbaric simian-esque Morlocks. The Elois live in fear from the Morlocks, and the entire book is an allegory for the increasing inequality and class divisions seen during Wells' time of writing. The Elois and Morlocks representing the upper and lower classes respectively. Now, moving on to question 2. What science fiction novel was originally adapted into a film by David Lynch in 1984? Is it A, The War of the Worlds, B, Blue Velvet, C, Dune, or D, Lost Highway? While originally said to be impossible to adapt for the big screen, Frank Herbert's sci-fi epic C, Dune was first attempted by David Lynch in 1984. The film was a bit of a flop, but it does have plenty of cult appeal these days. The film was notoriously attempted to be adapted by the legendary Alejandro Jodorowsky, and there's a phenomenal documentary known as Jodorowsky's Dune that I suggest all sci-fi fans check out. Recently, Dune was adapted into a seemingly successful and critically acclaimed film by director Denis Villeneuve. Now, let's head to the 1960s for this next question. Question 3. Danger, Will Robinson, danger is the catchphrase from what 1960s sci-fi television program? Is it A, The Jetsons, B, Lost in Space, C, Quantum Leap, or D, Star Trek? Well, this is one of my father's favorite TV shows growing up. Our answer is B, Lost in Space. A family-friendly network TV show, Lost in Space was about the Robinson family and their adventures in space after being separated from their traveling colony. The young protagonist, Will Robinson, was often paired with their robot assistant for many of their storylines and hijinks. The main directive of the robot was to protect young Will Robinson, and the line, "Danger, danger, Will Robinson, danger," became a signature of the series. Now, time to dig into the paranormal for question 4. Which show features two FBI agents, Mulder and Scully, investigating paranormal activity? Is it A, Firefly, B, The X-Files, C, V, or D, Bones? Well, I hope this was an easy one. Our answer is B, The X-Files. Agent Mulder and Agent Scully, played by David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson, thrilled TV audiences with their investigations into the all things paranormal, from aliens, monsters, cults, and more. I said cults. The show was also created by Vince Gilligan, whom all of you may know for famously creating hits like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. The X-Files went on for 11 years on the Fox network and saw 2 feature films. Final question of the day, question 5. Which long-standing BBC sci-fi series has seen its main character replaced over a dozen times? Is it A, Doctor Who, B, Lost in Space, C, Westworld, or D, The Expanse? One of the longest running shows on the BBC with die-hard fans worldwide, our answer is, of course, A, Doctor Who. The titular character of Doctor Who has in fact seen 13 different iterations, which each one being known as the 5th, the 7th, the 10th Doctor, and so on and so forth. It seems like everyone has their favorite Doctor. I'm a big fan of Peter Capaldi's 12th Doctor and David Tennant's 10th Doctor. It's cool to see each actor take on the role of the Doctor, bringing their own spin and sensibilities to the character. The 13th Doctor is the first female iteration, played by Jodie Whittaker. And that concludes today's round of Sci-Fi Trivia. I've been your host, Ian Feiner, and thank you so much for playing, and thanks to our weekly prize sponsors, Cybonix and Bandai Namco. Make sure you jump on our Discord server, discord.gg/Freckle, to be included in our weekly prize raffles. We'll be back again tomorrow for another round of Sci-Fi Trivia, and thanks so much for playing, everyone. What's up, Freckle family? Welcome back. It's Thursday, September 22nd, and I'm your Daily Trivia host, Ian Feiner, aka Lord Trivia himself. Freckle Daily Trivia consists of 5 everyday questions with weekly rotating topics. Each day you play earns you a raffle ticket towards amazing weekly prize draws like NFT airdrops, toys, collectibles, merch, apparel, and more. This week, we're partnering up with Cybonix and Bandai Namco to bring you an entire week of sci-fi trivia. So I'll be asking you all things from the world of science fiction. Cybonix are a collection of 1,500 NFTs on the Ethereum blockchain. Check out this video from Cybonix. Bandai Namco, one of the biggest and best toy companies in the world. Bandai brings you all the toys you love from IPs you know, like Dragon Ball Z, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Star Wars, DC, Gundam, and so many more. Bandai Namco is also a major publisher of video games with games like Pac-Man all the way to Elden Ring. Check out this video from Bandai Namco. Prizes this week are several incredible airdrops from Cybonix that will also double as an NFT avatar for many play-to-earn games and metaverses alike. Also, Bandai Namco have given us a bunch of super rare and awesome exclusive collectibles and toys like this Storm Collectibles Sub-Zero Mortal Kombat action figure worth a small fortune. Again, I wish I could keep this. Bandai Namco, maybe one for your boy here, but anyway, someone's gonna win this. I wish I could keep it myself. Additional prizes come from our sponsors at Diamond Select, Funko Pop, Roosevelt's Culture Kings, and more. Now, it's time to head into space, back to the future, and through the dystopia. First question of the day is about the Men in Black. This device for Men in Black can be programmed to make someone forget something they just saw. Is it A, the forget-me-not, B, the noisy cricket, C, the mind eraser, or D, the neuralizer? Though the noisy cricket gave us one of the more memorable scenes in the original Men in Black film, our answer is D, the neuralizer. The Men in Black are known to use this device to wipe the memory of a person who may have seen more than they should have. The device can be set for the person to forget things they've seen from a certain point in time, months, days, or hours back. The Men in Black is sci-fi comedy gold, mostly due to the chemistry between the two leads, Agent J and Agent K, played by a goofy Will Smith and a serious, stern Tommy Lee Jones. I'm a big fan of the Men in Black. Moving on to question 2, who is the man who fell to Earth? Is it A, David Bowie, B, Christian Bale, C, Sting, or D, Michael Jackson? The Man Who Fell to Earth is a film about an alien who poses as a human to save humanity. The 1970s classic sees the legendary A, David Bowie, flexing his acting muscles in an incredible performance as the titular character, the Man Who Fell to Earth. Bowie was actually obsessed with alien culture and outer space, and more than a few times referred to himself as an extraterrestrial. The late David Bowie released 26 studio albums in his entire career, with the final being titled Black Star, an obvious ode to all things in the universe. Let's predict the future and head to question 3. What sci-fi film sees Tom Cruise working for Pre-Crime, the division for the Washington, D.C. Police Department? Is it A, Live, Die, Repeat, B, Minority Report, C, Existence, or D, 15 Minutes? Now let's get one thing straight. I love this movie. Based on yet another Philip K. Dick short story, our answer is B, Minority Report. Minority Report has Tom Cruise working for pre-crime, where the supernatural beings known as precognitives, or precogs, are used to predict crimes before they even happen. A wrench gets thrown into Cruise's life when one of these predictions sees him committing murder. The rest of the film is one big chase with Tom Cruise doing what he does best, running away. The film is dark, gritty, and filled with action, and it's probably about 30 minutes too long, but it's a phenomenal adaptation and one of my favorite sci-fi action movies in existence. Now let's head to question 4 for another Philip K. Dick question. Which film is not based on a story by Philip K. Dick? Is it A, The Adjustment Bureau, B, A Scanner Darkly, C, Total Recall, or D, Gattaca? As you've probably come to realize from playing this week's trivia, when it comes to sci-fi cinema, there is no better source material than the works of Philip K. Dick. With mostly a grim outlook for humanity's future, Dick wrote books and short stories like A Scanner Darkly, Total Recall, Minority Report, Blade Runner, Paycheck, Next, and so many more. But our answer, D, Gattaca, is a great sci-fi film that is not based on a Philip K. Dick novel or any short story. Gattaca is often referred as to one of the best films you've never seen, and I can confirm the dystopian sci-fi film starring Ethan Hawke is definitely worth a watch. Now for the final question of the day, it's about an alien invasion, y'all. Will Smith, Jeff Goldblum, and Bill Pullman star in this alien invasion film that sees the destruction of the White House shown in this scene here. Is it A, War of the Worlds, B, Independence Day, C, The Day the Earth Stood Still, or D, Invasion of the Body Snatchers? Well, if the cast didn't give it away, that clip of the most famous scene in the film definitely should have. Our answer is, of course, B, Independence Day, directed by Roland Emmerich and released on July 3rd, 1996. The film features epic special effects, including the destruction of the White House, where a model was used to create the insane depiction of the laser alien destroying the house of the president. The film features an all-star cast and at one point was the highest-grossing summer blockbuster of all time. And that concludes today's round of Sci-Fi Trivia. I've been your host, Ian Feiner, and thank you so much for playing, and thanks to our prize sponsors for the week, Cybonix and Bandai Namco. Make sure you jump on our Discord server, discord.gg/Freckle, to be included in our weekly prize raffles. We'll be back again for another round of Sci-Fi Trivia tomorrow, and thanks for playing. What's up, Freckle family? Welcome back. TGIF, it's Friday, September 23rd, and I'm your daily trivia host, Ian Feiner, aka Lord Trivia himself. Freckle Daily Trivia consists of 5 everyday questions with weekly rotating topics. Each day you play earns you a raffle ticket towards amazing weekly prize draws like NFT airdrops, toys, collectibles, merch, apparel, and more. This week, we've partnered with Cybonix and Bandai Namco to bring you an entire week of sci-fi trivia, so I'll be asking you all things from the world of science fiction. Cybonix is a collection of 1,500 NFTs minted on the Ethereum blockchain. Check out this video from Cybonix. Bandai Namco is one of the biggest and best toy companies in the world. Bandai brings you the toys you love from the IPs you know like Dragon Ball Z, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Gundam, DC, and many, many more. Bandai Namco is also a major video games publisher with games from Pac-Man to Elden Ring. Check out this video from our friends at Bandai Namco. prizes this week are several incredible airdrops from Cybonix that will also double as a playable NFT in play-to-earn games and metaverses alike. Also, Bandai Namco have generously given us a number of rare and exclusive collectibles and toys like this Storm Collectibles Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero. It's a little bit of a glare on there, but this thing is awesome. It's posable. I wish I could keep it for myself. If you win it, I'm very jealous. Additional prizes come from our sponsors at Diamond Select, Funko Pop, Roosevelt's Culture Kings, and more. Now, one last time, let's head into space, back to the future, and through the dystopia. First question of the day is about everyone's favorite robot. What is the name of the robot in the film Short Circuit? Is it A, Johnny Five, B, Robo Sam, C, Wally, or D, Arnie? Well, the sci-fi comedy Short Circuit became a pop culture phenomenon in the 1980s. The series sees a military experimental robot get struck by lightning and gain human-like intelligence and curiosity. Our hero, A, Johnny Five, escapes the military complex to learn more about the world, where he meets and befriends a young woman named Stephanie. Fun fact, the design of Johnny Five was created by legendary futurist Sid Mead, who was the most famous for his work on Blade Runner and Tron. Now, for the next question is about everyone's favorite animated robot. Question 2, what is the name of WALL-E's sleek companion? Is it A, Shelby, B, Eve, C, Siri, or D, Cindy? WALL-E is an incredible Pixar film about a small trash compacting robot who goes on a big adventure after meeting B, Eve. Eve comes to Earth to see if vegetation growth has made it sustainable for humans to once again live on the planet. The friendship that develops between Eve and WALL-E is pretty remarkable and rather complex emotionally, with these emotions being portrayed by short bits of dialogue and beeps and boops. The design of WALL-E heavily draws inspiration from Johnny Five and the Short Circuit movie, and the film is a cautionary tale on capitalism, hyperconsumption, and the increasing reliance of humanity on technology. Let's head to question 3. A theme park gone mad, a man in black, and technology run amok best describes what sci-fi series? Is it A, Westworld, B, The Expanse, C, The Crystal City, or D, The Island of Lost Souls? Well, fans of HBO know that our answer is A, Westworld. The original Westworld film was written and directed by Michael Crichton, the same author of the Jurassic Park novels. The original film sees two friends go to a theme park where they could live their wildest Western fantasies. Their fun is cut short when a robot rung amok, a gunslinger dressed in all black, played by Yul Brynner, sends the entire park into a murderous frenzy. An HBO show differs on many different levels, but it's nonetheless an entertaining cautionary tale about why we should probably not build humanoid androids to serve as an avenue for our own fiendish entertainment needs. Check out this clip from the original Westworld movie.
I'm shot.
What?
I'm shot.
This next question is in honor of the legendary James Cameron. If you're in search for the indigenous Na'vi and the precious resource unobtainium, what planet should you be looking on? Is it A, Jupiter, B, Pandora, C, Utopia, or D, Atlantis? The legendary director James Cameron is a pioneer when it comes to creating sci-fi and action films. His film Avatar took decades to fully conceive and years to produce, and utilized revolutionary cameras and capture technology to create the 3D world of B, Pandora, that is home to the Na'vi people and the precious resource being mined by the humans known as unobtainium. Unobtainium, really? The film draws many allusions from Pocahontas and other tales about mankind's colonialism throughout history. A sequel is set to be released very soon, with Cameron upping the ante and filming more than 50% of the film underwater using some new revolutionary techniques. And now, for the final question of the week. Children of Men is a 2006 dystopian film in which the world's population becomes this. Is it A, poisoned, B, extinct, C, infertile, or D, exiled? Now, I'm a big fan of Alfonso Cuarón's grim and gritty dystopian masterpiece, Children of Men. Starring Clive Owen and Juliette Moore, Children of Men shows the population of the world constantly diminishing due to C, infertility. In the film, there hasn't been a new birth in decades, but when Owen is introduced to the first and only pregnant woman on the planet, he must protect her from the powers that be who want to capture her for political gain. The film features some very innovative cinematography and great writing, but is about as depressing as you can imagine. And that concludes this week of Sci-Fi Trivia. I've been your host, Ian Feiner. Thank you so much for playing, and thank you to our weekly prize sponsors, Cybonix and Bandai Namco. Make sure you jump on our Discord server, discord.gg/Freckle, to be included in our prize raffles. As a reminder, we're giving away some rare toys from Bandai Namco, a bunch of Cybonix NFTs, and a whole lot more. We'll see you again on Monday for another awesome collab. We're partnering up with Lightbeam Finance and the Wonder Pals for our first ever week of just general trivia. So bring your brains, have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.